Hello, volleyball fans, and welcome into the Tiger Nation Volleyball Pregame Show. I'm Adam Petersohn, and I'm here to get you ready for this Section 1 3A semifinal match. It may not be the 4th of July, but I am expecting fireworks tonight in Eagle Rock Bank Arena. Why? Because we have two of the best teams in the state of Minnesota squaring off. It's the number 4 seeded Byron Bears taking on the number 1 seed Stewartville Tigers, a rematch of the 5-set thriller that was played back on September 4th in this very gymnasium. Stewartville won the first set, but Byron would take the next two, including a 31-29 marathon set number 3, but the Tigers would come back to win sets 4 and 5 to get the W. Now they meet again, and it is win or go home as we are here in the playoffs. How did each team get here? Stewartville walked right through Faribault in the first round, 3 straight sets, none closer than 11 points, 25-14, 25-6, 25-14 to earn their way into this semifinal match. For Byron, they would take on a tough 5 seed in the Austin Packers, but come away with 2 nail-biters in sets 2 and 3 to send Austin home for the season. It was 25-18, 26-24, 28-26. So this is where we are at right now, our half of the bracket. We don't even care about the other half of the bracket. Don't even care, because it does not matter if you don't make it past tonight, and this is a huge test for both teams. From a talent standpoint, Byron and Stewartville may have some of the most impressive rosters in all of Southeast Minnesota, and I'm pumped to be able to watch some superstars on the court tonight battle it out. Here is my list of who to watch in this section semifinal. When you talk about the top players to watch in volleyball section 1, the local newspaper had a huge swing and a miss with the list they put out there, as they didn't even include the 2 most feared front row hitters in section 1 3A, not to mention the entire cutthroat Hiawatha Valley League that just cannibalizes each other during the season. You can't just pull up stats from Max Preps and make your conclusion from that. When you watch these 2 girls play, you know they are the best of the best, and I'm talking about Ella Theobald from Stewartville and Kaydence Fjerstad of Byron, a couple of 6-footers that absolutely hammer the ball. In the opening round matchup against Austin, the junior outside hitter Fjerstad racked up a ridiculous 23 kills in only 3 sets of play. 23! Are you kidding me? That's tough to do in 5 sets. She did it in a 3-set sweep, and a major reason Byron moved on. This girl is as athletic as they come, a 6-rotation stud, and she is no doubt the best player on the floor for Byron. Last time these 2 teams met up, Fjerstad was tied for the lead in kills on her team with 11. Also had 5 blocks and 7 digs. On the other side, Theobald for Stewartville puts the hammer down like we haven't seen in Tiger Nation since Hurricane Prondo, Caitlin Pronzinski, back in 2019. When she gets on top of the ball, very few are coming back. Theobald leads the Tigers in kills with 192 and 2.7 kills per set. She has a 43% kill rate. 13 kills in that Byron matchup earlier this season, 18 kills in the Fillmore Central Showdown, 11 times she has had 8 or more kills in a match this season. Watch out for number 12 of Byron and number 2 of Stewartville. And it's not just those 2. The matchup to really watch tonight will take place right there in the middle of the court. Stewartville's duo of Dream Petersohn and Matilda Doobie have been fantastic for the last 2 seasons, and they will be facing off with a Tiger killer in Ella Brennan on the Byron side. Dream Petersohn may be one of the sweetest girls you'll ever come across, but she is a stone-cold killer on the court. 137 kills this season, leads the teams with crazy efficiency on her swings, a 50% clip for kill percentage, a 390 hit percentage. Both of those lead the team. Then she also has added 55 blocks on the year to surpass 100 career blocks in the maroon and gold. Speaking of blocks, nobody turns more kills away than the surgeon MD Matilda Doobie, 2nd year in a row leading the team in that category. Last year she had 79 blocks, already at 82 and counting for her senior season. In a 4-game stretch, she put up 2 matches with 9 blocks apiece. 7 times this year she's had 4 or more blocks in a match. Also efficient swinging like Dream, a 47% kill percentage and 387 hit percentage on her way to 160 kills in 2025. Third on the team with 32 aces serving for Byron in the middle. A girl I referred to as the Tiger Killer. Why? Ella Brennan had one of her best games of her entire career against Stewartville earlier this year. A big-time performance. That was a big reason that match went to 5 sets. The way it looked live, I thought Brennan had about 35 kills. Actual stats have it at 8. Also 11 kills, 6 digs, and 4 aces. She was the star for Byron on that night in September. The middle is where you will see a lot of action, and these 3 girls will be in it. Two other front row players that will need to play well tonight if their teams want to win. Both outsides. I'm talking about sophomore Spencer Nagel for the Tigers and senior Ella Nelson for the Bears. Nagel may be Stewartville's most improved player from last season, and that is saying something since she was pretty doggone good last year. Top 3 in kills with 157, 23 service aces, 21 blocks, over 200 digs, as she is the Tigers' only 6th rotation player. Her best game this season was against this Byron team as she racked up 14 kills on the night to lead the Tigers. Speaking of great all-around players, you're talking about Byron's Ella Nelson. The senior can do it all. We have seen her in the back row. She can hit, and she can even set. Anywhere on the court, Nelson can get the job done. She's coming off a 10-kill, 5-dig performance against Austin, and she was busy last time against our Tigers. 44 swings last time she played here in Stewartville, so look for her to get a lot of touches. Each team will rely on a pair of setters to handle the rock every time over the net. For Stewartville, that is the team of Abby Langseth and Clara Theobald. For Byron, they have been mixing it up for most of the year, but judging by the last game, it will be one of my all-time favorite Bears in Max Steele, and then a new face since our previous meeting, Abby Nelson. Clara Theobald on Stewartville, the freshman, leads our team in set assists with 410, an average of 5.3%, while Abby Langseth, the senior, sits at 356 assists, 4.6%. Theobald and Langseth are also over 100 digs each for the season. For Byron, Max Steele had 11 assists, 4 digs, and 2 aces against Austin 1 week ago, while Abby Nelson led the team with 24 set assists. I imagine these girls will be busy tonight with the talented hitters we have on both sides of the net. With those hitters crushing the ball, it will be up to the back row to keep points alive. Byron will rely on some aforementioned players like First Ed, Ella Nelson, and the setters, but libero Marin Radke will look to keep everything off the floor as against Austin. She had 10 digs, which I believe led the team. She had 11 digs the last time she played the Tigers. For Stewartville, Nagel will be in the back row, as will our libero Reagan Middlestat, who has 367 digs this season, but really the girl you need to watch right there in the middle, number 3, I think, in my opinion, our best back row player on the roster, and that's sophomore Leah Hebel. Hebel has made some brilliant plays this year. She's athletic, she's smooth, great serve, but I think where to me she outshines every other back row player I've watched in the HVL this season is her ability on that second pass. When the setter is out taking the dig, when the setter's out, Leah Hebel sets that thing so beautiful to one of our outside or right side hitters. She puts it on a tee. She puts it on a tee for them to swing at, and that's what makes her special. She has 189 digs this year, 35 aces from the service line. These girls leave it all out on the court, sacrificing their bodies to keep plays alive for their teams. The last group I have here are what I'd call the wild cards. More often than you think, in any sport really, big games with a lot of great players like this one, they are so evenly matched, it can come down to some of the players that may not get talked about as much as the top of the lineup, but can have just as big of an impact. For Stewartville, right-sided hitter Sydney Clark and freshman outside hitter Sylvia Husenfeld will be on the court for their rotations, while Byron will have the Richardson sisters and Avery Rolland. Sophia Richardson contributed 4 kills and 3 blocks against Austin. Husenfeld for Stewartville went over 100 kills in her freshman season, while Clark has 79 kills and 37 blocks. I also did want to mention a huge difference from the match Stewartville and Byron had on September 4th, and what you're going to see today. For the second straight year, Byron Volleyball sustains a huge loss to one of their star players. Last season, Kailani Schroeder went down with a knee injury, a major piece to that Byron offense in 2024. You know they missed her when you watched them play without her. And this year, unfortunately, Zoe Dearborn, a fantastic player for Byron, is out for the season after suffering a knee injury just a few weeks ago. She led the team in kills last year as a junior with 345. She had 283 digs. She was Byron's team MVP 1 season ago. Last time out against Stewartville, she had 8 kills and 22 digs, 3 blocks, and it's just heartbreaking to see that happen to a student athlete at any time, but especially tough to see in her senior year. I did want to give a shout out to Zoe and wish her the best in her recovery on behalf of Tiger Nation. That's what I have for you here. Hopefully you're all caught up now and ready to roll, because in just a little bit, I'm going to be back to bring you all the action live from Stewartville. It's the Tigers and the Bears one more time. Hold on tight, because this one's going to be electric.
The show starts in 10.
Oh, what a save by Hebel! Look at the effort!
Here.
9. Middlestat over to Krause. Krause back set to Brooklyn Petersohn. Brooklyn Petersohn with the kill! My favorite player on her Steele pops it up, gets out of the way. Oh, big block by Clark! Dearborn's going to send that one over. Klar gets it to Langseth. Langseth to middle. Oh my God! 3 Petersohn!
6.
Here comes Radke. Goes middle to Brennan. Oh, what a save there by Langseth.
5.
Oh, good left-handed push by Brennan. And here comes Nagel. Oh, ripped it! Ripped it! Then back. I don't think it ever went over the net. We're going to keep playing, though. Langseth out to Sylvia. Who's in foul? Oh, Nebraska explodes!
3.
Here comes Hebel. Clara outside to Spencer. Rips it! Oh, my God, what a save by Ella Nelson! Nagel. Theobald. Doobie! The surgeon will see you now!
2.
You can't get called no matter. Oh, Dre Petersohn with the big hammer from the window to the wall. Dream just slammed that ball.
1.
Dearborn to Radke. Radke to Fjerstad. What a pancake there by Clara. Oh, Ella has to lean all the way back to get that one. She might have hurt her back. Big block by Petersohn. Dearborn's going to swing, but Leah digs it. They go back set to Ella Theobald. Hammer time!
I took a deep breath. I looked at my friends. I was like, it's about to go down.
Classic rivalry is renewed. These two teams do not like each other, and you got to love that.
I can feel coming in here tonight. Oh Lord, oh Lord.
Monday Night Football, let's go!
Us versus them, survival. We must win, it's tribal. My team like Ken, by any means necessary. One head-to-head with adversaries. Nothing is given, so we gotta take it. It's 4th and inches, so we gotta make it. Can you feel it?
What a catch! To the end zone, got it! Sideline, touchdown! Unbelievable!
What's up, volleyball fans? Welcome to Eagle Rock Bank Arena in Stewartville, Minnesota for tonight's epic Section 1 3A semifinal between the 4-seed Byron Bears and the number 1-seeded Stewartville Tigers. I'm Adam Petersohn, and I'll be bringing you all the action from the top row of the bleachers over here. Byron comes into the game with a record of 15-10, 6-2 in the HVL. They have won 4 of their last 5 matches. Although their record seems a little bit modest, you have got to realize that this Byron roster is still one of the most talented and dangerous out there in Class 3A. They are a scary team here with nothing to lose. On the other side of the net, Stewartville is 24-4, ranked number 4 in the state of Minnesota. They are the 2025 HVL Conference champions and recent winners of the Chaska tournament. But you could throw all those numbers and accolades out the window, because if there is one thing I know, it's that when these two teams, Byron and Stewartville, huge rivalry between the two schools, huge rivalry. When they battle against each other, it is a heavyweight title fight. I have yet to see a volleyball match that has not been electric between the Bears and the Tigers. I mean, just 2 weeks ago, we saw the greatest high school football game ever broadcast from Stewartville when these two schools met up. Will we be able to replicate that type of entertainment here tonight? Well, if any two teams can do it, it's the Bears and the Tigers. I should preface a couple things. Stewartville broadcast here. I love my Tigers, so you may hear me pulling for my squad. But number 2, I'm a huge fan of 2 ladies on the Byron side. Bad Kaydence Fjerstad, which should be pronounced First Stud, because she is an athletic freak in 2 sports, volleyball and softball. She has an awesome family here. I've got to talk to each of them tonight. Team Kaydence, I call them. Alicia, Sean, crew even put the headset on. Big thanks to Gordy and Brenda for their support as well. Speaking of incredible families, how about the Steels? They're about as good as they come. Their daughter, one of the sweetest girls you will ever meet, Max Steele, wearing number 1 tonight. Number 1 on the court, number 1 in our hearts. Last game we played against each other before warm-ups, Max Steele came up the bleachers to give me a big hug. What a gal. That's what you get from Max Steele. Amazing athlete, but even better person. Those are my favorite athletes to cheer for, and we have plenty of them on the court here tonight. Stewartville Byron, the winner is going to be going on for the section final at the Mayo Civic Center Saturday, 2 p.m. I believe is the game. Don't quote me on that. 2 p.m. I believe is the time over there. If we have any difficulties, in terms of audio, technical difficulties, just shout me out. Stewartville, let's get their starters. It looks like Dream Petersohn, Klar, Sylvia Husenfeld in the front row, Matilda Doobie, Abby Langseth, Spencer Nagel. In the back row, our libero will be Reagan Middlestat. For the Byron Bears in the back row, you got a new face since the last time we played them. Abby Nelson is going to be one of their setters. You got Ella Brennan, the Tiger Killer, 9 blocks the last time she played Stewartville. You got number 8, Ella Nelson, who's fantastic. You got in the front row one of the scariest hitters in all the HVL, number 12, Kaydence Fjerstad, 23 kills in 3 sets against Austin. You got number 6 out there, Avery Rolland, and you got number 4, Sophia Richardson. They are part of the wild cards there, Richardson and Rolland. We know what we're getting. Marin Radke will take the libero responsibilities for Byron. Here comes the younger Nelson with the first serve. That goes to Nagel. Nagel over to Langseth, and Sylvia Husenfeld gets up first. Big block there by Richardson, and Klar's just going to put that one over. Now you'll see on the outside, Kaydence Fjerstad. She swings. Good tip on that. Here comes Husenfeld. Tough ball to hit over from that back row. Radke's going to set this up over to the outside. They're going to just have to take that over. They let it bounce, and great eyes by Middlestat. 1-0 Stewartville. That couldn't have missed the line by much. We got a packed house here in Stewartville. No surprise there. 2 of the best teams in southeastern Minnesota. Always electricity when they square off. Reagan Middlestat, leader in aces for our team. They're going to go backside. Oh, what a dig by Langseth. Now Middlestat puts it over to Husenfeld. Husenfeld goes right to the middle. Nelson's able to dig that. Nelson back to Big Sister, and that one goes on her side of the net. I don't know if it was a block for Doobie or if it just hit the net. Either way, 2-0 Stewartville. That's what we need. We need a fast start here for the Tigers. Do want to give a shout out, Zoe Dearborn, heartbreaker there, one of the best players for Byron, out with a knee injury, wishing her a speedy recovery. Feel bad for her. They had that last year as well with Schroeder. Here comes Fjerstad from the right side. Got a little too much on top of that, and it's 3-0 Stewartville. I talked about the heartache. It's hard for me to cheer against Fjerstad and Steele when they're out there because we love those girls. But, you know, on the broadcast tonight, we're Stewartville guys. Oh, I see some soccer players entering the gymnasium. Brecken Rester, fresh off a third-place state finish today for the boys soccer team. Great season for them. Nelson puts a swing on that one, and that one goes into the net. 4-0 Stewartville as they've come out on fire. Coach May, I see your text here. That is Tommy Check on the far side of the gymnasium in the Logan sweatshirt. Incredible athlete, top-rated catcher for the class of 2028 in the state of Minnesota, but also a dynamic quarterback for the Rangers. They are still in playoffs in Wisconsin as Langseth goes to Doobie and Radke, good dig there. Nelson to the outside, feeding Fjerstad. They're going to go back row to Ella Nelson. Nagel, Langseth outside to Husenfeld. Oh, and it's blocked, but it's out. They're wondering if that ever made it to this side of the net. It's 5-0 Stewartville. Anyway, that's Tommy Check over there. We've tried to open and roll him to Stewartville, Coach May. Tried to open and roll him. As you know, cousin to Brooklyn Petersohn. Also over there, Avery Check. She is going to be one of the best female basketball players next year when she becomes eligible. As you know, Wisconsin only in the freshman year. Middlestat, nice dig there. Langseth is going to go to Husenfeld again, and she tries to go down the line. Nelson saves that one. This one comes over to Fjerstad. Oh, she rips it, but big save by Middlestat. Comes over to Clara. Is Clara going to be able to get that over? No. As Byron gets their first point of the game, Fjerstad unleashed on that one. And good job by Stewartville to even get a hand on it. It's 5-1 Tigers. Appreciate all the people watching. Here's Bad Kaydence Fjerstad, one of the best players in the state. That one's going middle to Doobie. She doesn't get all of it. Nelson pops it up. Radke over to the other Nelson, Ella. Doobie just sends it over. Back row attack by Fjerstad. Oh my gosh, what a save by Middlestat. Now we're going to Husenfeld. Big block. Middlestat. Nagel sets it over. Husenfeld just tips it, but Nelson's there. Here comes Radke outside to Ella Nelson as she hits a bomb. This is incredible already, and now it's out Stewartville point. This is only set number one. This is only set number one, everybody. Oh, Marshall Barron's one of the line judges over here. I don't think you can see him. One of the longtime officials in the crowd, or in the southeastern Minnesota. That serve is by Clara Theobald. Theobald and Clara and Ella both into the game now. Clara, back set to Ella. Ella swings, and it's a hammer, but just missed. There's not many harder hitters than Ella Theobald. 6-2 Stewartville. Marin Radke, the libero for Byron, is going to serve this one. Nice serve for her. Tough to handle. Ella's just going to bring that one back. Doobie's going to take that over into the middle. Ella Brennan. Brennan gets up, but they got a hand on it. Doobie trying to be perfect placement. Yeah, Radke back to serve. Sorry, got to update the scoreboard. Clara outside to Ella. Now they're going to do a switch. Theobald comes to the right side. Husenfeld. Theobald puts it over to Husenfeld. Off the chest to Nelson. Somehow Byron gets it over. Oh, but they called a lift. I mean, good effort by the Bears. 7-3. Husenfeld comes out. Leah Hebel, who I think is an outstanding back row player for us. Sophomore, also a great server. And Doobie sends it back. Great save by Radke. Oh, they said Doobie was in the net. Self-preservation there by Radke actually gets the job done. Into the game for the Bears, number 1, Max Steele, greatest name in the HVL. Also one of our favorites, 7-4 Stewartville is Steele. She had 3 aces against Stewartville the last time they played. There's Middlestat, goes to Clara, outside to Spencer Nagel. Nagel gets on top of it, and that just stuffed. Brennan had 9 blocks the last time we played. I expect a lot out of her in the middle tonight, especially when they shift Fjerstad over to the outside. Brennan is fantastic. She's a senior. That's long. Steele, just a little too much muscle on that one. And it's 8-5 Stewartville. The energy here is insane. You can palpate it. Doobie is serving. Fjerstad, beautiful. Max Steele goes back set to Nelson. Dream Petersohn gets the block. And that one doesn't make it over. As I completely forgot about running the instant replay clips. I think we're gonna be ready to go now. We're gonna be ready to go. I'll try to give you something special here. Radke takes it over. Theobald back to Nagel. Nagel doesn't get an approach, but she dumps it right in the middle. Did they save it? What a save by Abby Nelson. Now Theobald, she goes back to Big Sister. A block. Clara somehow tries to save it. Almost came to the camera. And that's a point for Byron. 9-6. Set number 1. Back to serve, Ella Nelson. Nelson, 10 kills, 5 digs against Austin in that quarterfinal match that Byron was able to sweep. Hebel to Theobald, tries to bring it to Ella. Ella pushes it to the middle of the court, but Nelson is able to handle that. Steele out to Fjerstad. Fjerstad throws it straight down like a dunk, but that one sails wide to the left. And the Tigers get the point. 10-6 as now we have another sub. Theobald sisters go out. And Abby Langseth and Sydney Clark, 2 seniors, come into the game. Not many girls more energetic than Sydney Clark. She brings a lot of energy to that court, and you'll see it. Nelson to Steele. Steele goes middle to Brennan. Brennan swings full tilt, and that hit Dream Petersohn's hand. It was in anyway as Byron cuts the lead to 3. Brennan goes back to serve. I thought it was the game of her life. I think it was 9 blocks. Don't quote me. 11 kills, 4 aces. I thought it was 9 blocks, 6 digs last time Brennan was here in Tiger Nation. Langseth is going to pop that up. Nagel's going to swing from the right side. Boy, she got underneath that one, popped it up, and went long. 10-8. Brennan still serving, trying to edge Byron closer and closer. That one's long. And Stewartville takes another 3-point lead. Brennan's going to come off. Radke's going to come on for Stewartville. Husenfeld comes on, and Leah Hebel's going to take a seat. Spencer Nagel now serving. Sorry, they're not in frame. However, I'm trying to get as much of the court as I can without moving the camera. Radke over to Nelson. Back to Big Sister. Ella, good dig there by Middlestat. Langseth out to Sylvia Husenfeld. Sylvia, the freshman, brings it! Sylvia, what does she have this year? It's incredible for a freshman. 111 kills, 32% kill percentage. That one just makes it over, and nothing you can do on Byron's side. Sometimes the ball falls on one side or the other. That one just happened to favor Stewartville, 13-8. Nagel sends it deep to the corner. It's in. That's 2 aces in a row, and now she's got 25 on the year. 25 for Nagel. Stewartville now up 6. It was 10-8 when Brennan was serving, and now Stewartville went from a 2-point lead to a 6. Nagel still in there, takes it over to Radke. Radke to Nelson, middle to Fjerstad. Somehow Fjerstad's just floating in the air. The set, though, was just a bit too high, and that's going to be a timeout for Byron. 15-8, set number 1. We'll step aside just for a minute. We'll be back with more set 1 action. Stewartville leads Byron 15-8. Byron uses their first of 2 timeouts here in set number 1. Chasing 7 early. The thing is, if Byron can close the gap, they have shown that they can play really well in close games. They had 2 go to extra points against Austin, 26-24, 28-26. And if you remember, the first time Stewartville and Byron met up, Byron won set number 3. I think Fjerstad gets a hand on it 30-28. So they're used to playing extra innings if you're a softball fan. Nelson goes back to Fjerstad. She just drives it. Oh, Klar, return to sender. Big swing, but Petersohn and Klar able to put it back on the Byron side. Stewartville leads 16-8. Nagel still serving. They come back row to Ella Nelson. Langseth doesn't get all of that. Middlestat over to Husenfeld. That one's going to be long, and that's a Byron point as they break the run that Stewartville just went on. Coming in, Avery Rowland, the 5'9" senior. Going to the bench was Max Steele. Now serving, number 9, Abby Nelson, the 5'9" freshman. Middlestat, Langseth. Langseth goes to Husenfeld. Oh, good dig there. Nelson to Nelson, back to, it's just Nelson trio. There's only 2 of them, but all 3 hits were taken by Nelson. That one goes Stewartville's way, 17-9. Stewartville student section in all camel. I'm not sure what the Byron student section theme is, but they got a pretty good contingent in their own right. Ella Nelson puts it in the corner. Good save there by Nagel. Out to Husenfeld. Husenfeld drills one into the back. Nebraska's favorite granddaughter delivering tonight. 18-9 Stewartville. Speaking of Husenfelds, younger sister Genevieve, great cross-country season. Sad to see her go out in sections on an injury, but the future is bright there. Nelson goes back to Fjerstad. They're moving her all around. She goes right side. Now she's outside. We're going back row to Nagel. Nagel's going to try to spin that one. Marshall says that one's in. He says that one's in. All sorts of English Nagel puts on this ball. Gets it to drop. 19-9 Stewartville. And there's another timeout for Byron. It was 10-8 at one point. Stewartville has gone on a 9-1 run. And Byron trying to find an answer as Stewartville playing really well together. I think if you're Coach Petersohn, obviously number 12 on the other side of the court is somebody that you have to keep under wraps. She's one of the top hitters. I'm talking about Kaydence Fjerstad. The other girl, number 5, Ella Brennan, there in the middle. Big blocker, but can also swing. Those are 2 front row hitters. The concern becomes when Ella Nelson starts hitting her stride. Ella Nelson has been fantastic. Last time she played against us, she had 6 kills, 5 aces, 10 digs, a little bit of everything. Like I said, Zoe Dearborn out with an injury. Last time, 22 digs in the back row. They sure miss her. 8 kills from the front row, 3 blocks. Number 7, heartbreaker. Again, like I said, Kailani Schroeder last year in 2024, heartbreaker for the Bears then, and this year it is Zoe Dearborn. On the court for the Bears, Abby Nelson, Kaydence Fjerstad, Marin Radke, Ella Nelson, Avery Rowland, and Sophia Richardson. Middlestat to serve. Radke just a little bit off her arm, and that's going to be a point for Stewartville, 20-9, as the Tigers are closing in on that 25-point number. It's important for Stewartville to start fast and keep that momentum. Middlestat. There's Fjerstad to Nelson. Out middle. Richardson. Great drive there by number 4, Richardson. It goes off Nagel's arms. Sophia Richardson, a 5'6" senior, but she can get off the ground. Got some hops on that one. Hitting from the middle. Here comes Fjerstad. Drops that one. Good setup there. And now Doobie goes through the block. The surgeon saw them put up the block, and she just went ricocheted off it. Even went in as MD Matilda Doobie knows a little something about blocks. Leads our team with 82 this season. She had 79 last year as a junior. There's Ella Nelson. She had to cut that one. Are you kidding? Look at the angle Ella Nelson just used. That's impressive. Like I said, if she starts getting rolling, you got to be a little bit nervous. They're going to switch volleyballs. I think that one went into the crowd. 21-11, Stewartville. Husenfeld to Clara Theobald. She goes outside to big sister Ella into the net. And that's going to be a point for the Bears. Big shout out to my basketball broadcasting partner, Casey Morlock, out there watching, a legend in Tiger Nation. Speaking of legends, she also produces them. Will, Henry, Pete. I mean, the list goes on and on. Doobie, back set to Theobald. Theobald just does something. Here comes Nelson out to big sisters. Throws it in the corner, and that one's just a little too long as it's 22-12. Three points away for Stewartville. Leah Hebel comes in for Husenfeld. Hebel's got the Hebel hammer from that serve position. Radke's able to bring it up. Nelson, now Fjerstad will just drive it over. And, oh, could that be a better spot? A little C&I single for the shortstop from Byron, except it's in volleyball, and she puts it right in the middle of the court where no Tigers are. And that'll be a kill for Fjerstad. Like I said, racked up 23 in 3 sets against Austin. Gordy had to be happy about that one. Gordy and Brenda, I'm sure. Steele comes on. Good up by Leah. Now Doobie just floats that one over. Steele comes out to Ella Nelson. She gives it all. Radke again goes to Ella. Ella goes far corner, and that one just sails long. 23-13. Dream Petersohn on. Reagan Millsat, the libero, goes out, which means both our middles are in. Matilda Doobie serving. And that one goes into the net. Here comes Ella Nelson. That one goes long at the last second. Leah gets out of the way. Couldn't have waited much longer. 24-14. Set number 1. It's set point. And Abby Langseth comes on. The Theobald sisters take a seat. Langseth in. Klar in. Looking for that set deciding point. Here's Langseth. Radke. Steele's going to try to dig that out of the net. She's unable. And Stewartville wins this one 25-14. As it didn't seem like Byron could get the rhythm going that they needed. Stewartville came out hot and finished hot. They were up 10-8 at one point, Stewartville was, and then went on a 9-1 run. And unfortunately, that was just too much for Byron to try to catch up on. We are going to move to set number 2 here in 2 minutes and 43 seconds. So I will step aside here, and we'll be back with second set action just a few minutes. Back for set number 2. Byron has shown an ability to bounce back. They did it in the first meeting on September 4th. Stewartville won the first set. Byron came back to win sets 2 and 3. So you don't look at that first set and consider anything. We start 0-0 again, and we have to earn it if you're a Stewartville fan. Byron looking to come back and even this thing up. Love to have Casey Morlock here to give me Casey's keys to the game. I'm sure she'd have plenty of insight, way smarter than I would. But maybe in basketball season, we'll see. Who knows? Maybe we can make another section run to the Civic Center. Middlestat's going to serve. Nagel, Langseth, Klar, Husenfeld, Doobie starting for Stewartville. I'll get you Byron starters as they go middle to Fjerstad. Good dig by Langseth. Now Husenfeld's going to swing that one. Tips over. Oh, they're going to get a free ball here. Langseth. Back row to Klar. Good save by Ella Nelson, but just not enough as Klar makes it happen. But what a dig there by Langseth. So we got Abby Nelson, Sophia Richardson, Maren Radke, the libero, Ella Nelson, Max Steele, and Kaydence Fjerstad on the Byron side. They go middle again to Fjerstad. Fjerstad's, the timing of her run up in the sets have been a little off. Husenfeld tries to go line. Max Steele's able to dig that. Radke comes outside now as Fjerstad throws that one down, but off the block, it's out, and it's 1-1. How high Fjerstad gets above the net is incredible. It's like to the middle of her bicep. I think she's already 6 foot tall, 5'11", 6 foot. We'll round up with shoes on, but then she has like an incredible vertical. That one goes into the net. That's one thing hopefully you won't ever hear me do. I'm not going to get jacked up when there's a mistake from the opposing team side. If they hit it in the net, there's nothing Stewartville really did. Just a mistake. They happen. Do get pumped up when our team delivers some big blocks. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Watch this. I said she gets high. She also brings a drill down. Fjerstad. 2-2, she evens it up. And now she's going to serve it. Boy, all sorts of topspin on that. They go to Doobie. Doobie goes middle. Oh, takes a little off it, and that's enough for the point. Back to serve for Stewartville. Up 3-2, Leah Hebel. Hebel, 35 aces on the year, 92% serve percentage. Fjerstad digs that one, goes to Abby Nelson, outside to Ella. Sent back! Sent back! That was Doobie. 83 blocks on the year for the senior. Oh, a little floater by Hebel! Oh! Not the Hebel hammer, but still. Hebel septic approved. 5-2 Stewartville leads. Byron trying to chase 3. And there's the hammer. Fjerstad's able to handle it. They go middle to Sophia Richardson. Oh my gosh. What a pass there with one hand. She's in the net though. I mean, for Theobald to be able to dig that up and give a reasonable pass to Nagel to swing at with one arm, pretty impressive. I wonder if her family down in Texas is watching, the Theobald family. I believe they're related to, I think it's Amy's family. Oh, there's the ace. There's the ace. Radke delivers. If I'm not mistaken, I think her dad's the wrestling coach. Quite a wrestling program in Byron. Especially Hattie Mathry there on the girls' side. Theobald outside to Nagel. Blocked. They somehow save it. Stewartville does. They pop it up. Abby to middle. Brennan just pops it to the back corner. Just off. Good spot. Good thought for Ella Brennan. She found the open area. It just floated a little long. 6-4 Stewartville. What a match. What an environment. Great crowd here. And that one's going to be a point for the Tigers. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Appreciate everybody sending me texts, letting me know that you're watching and that the audio and video is okay. You never know when I'm calling it live. They go outside to Ellen Nelson. Wow. Somebody was in the net. They're going to say it was on our side. And Nelson made us pay one of her best swings of the night, number 8, Ellen Nelson. Nelson last year, she did it all. 288 kills, 287 digs, 44 aces, 27 blocks, all HVL. Byron Offensive Player of the Year as a junior. That's Ellen Nelson. I shouldn't have been talking when Max Steele was serving. I feel horrible because I'm a Max Steele fan. So, Jenny, Eric, I apologize. Back to serve for Stewartville. Abby Langseth as the Theobald sisters take a seat. Clara also on. She's got a new look with her hair. It's almost like braided down the left side. Steele comes middle. Oh my gosh, what a swing from the back row by Fjerstad. Now they go middle. Dream Petersohn! That's my girl! She tattoos that Takakara. Actually, do we use Wilson? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what brand we use. Either way, she nailed it. Fjerstad, Steele able to get that up and over. Great job staying on the net. That's going outside to Nagel. Nagel! Oh, what a save by Steele, but Nagel put too much emphasis on that one. Couldn't bring it back. 10-5, Stewartville. Oh, that was a nasty serve. That made it over the net by a whisker. And Byron's going to take a timeout. 11-5 Stewartville. You hear me talk about some of these stats, and some people were asking me, like, hey, how is that calculated? I talk about Dream Petersohn all the time, that she has a 50% kill percentage. Let me get that. Yeah, 50%. That means the number of kills over the number of swings that she does. That means half the time that she puts a swing on the ball, it's going down for a point, and you just saw it right there. 390 hit percentage for Dream Petersohn. What does that mean? Well, what we do is we take the kills that she has minus the errors, which would be things that you hit into the net or out of bounds. So you do get kind of demoted or kind of, you know, there's a knock on you for that. Kills minus errors, and then you take that number, and it's all over the number of swings, and that gives you your percentage, your hit percentage. Dream Petersohn, 390. 390, Matilda Doobie, 387. I mean, those middle hitters for Stewartville, they are very efficient. Big shout out to the best HVL photographer, Missy Tricker-Clar, out here doing work. Nobody better. Fjerstad to Steele, back to Ella Nelson. Good dig by Langseth. Now we're going to Nagel. Nagel just drops it over. Steele's out. Radke's got to come in to save it. They go over to Ella Nelson. She tips it over. Middlestat. Clar. Off the hand, but good dig there by Fjerstad. Steele goes back row to Fjerstad. She unleashes it. Leah Hebel, what a save! But man, Fjerstad, she hits it from anywhere. Stand her next to the concession stand. She'll take a swing and put it in. She's incredible. 11-6 Stewartville. Maybe Fjerstad's hunting another 20-kill night. Who knows? Who knows? Hebel, Langseth, just brings it back. Nagel just pushes it to the corner, trying to get Byron out of their rhythm. There's Fjerstad. I said she swings from everywhere. Another kill for number 12. It's pronounced Fjerstad. 11-7. Byron right back in it on the back of number 12, Kaydence Fjerstad. That one goes right over, and now Byron's got another chance. They feed Ella Brennan in the middle. Middlestat, Nagel. Nagel unable to roll that one over the net, and now Byron has cut it to a 3-point lead. Good timeout there by the coach. He stopped the bleeding, and now the lead is starting to shrink. 11-8 Stewartville as Ella Nelson is going to hit the jump serve. Hebel to Middlestat, goes over to Clar on the outside. That one drifts long. 11-9 Tigers. Byron's starting to find a little rhythm, starting to find a little motivation. Momentum is starting to shift in the black and gold's favor. Ella Nelson's going to try to keep it going. Middlestat tries to pop it up. Langseth has to run to the middle of the court. Klara's just going to pop that one over. They switch back to their normal positions. Radke goes back row to Ella Nelson. Never gets it over the net. And Stewartville leads by 3 again. Here comes the sub. Husenfeld going to the outside. Hebel coming to the bench. Stewartville won that first set 25-14. They now lead 12-9, but Byron looking a lot better in set number 2. That one goes off. That's going to be an ace for Nagel. (13-9) Stewartville. You got a scoreboard on the thing. I'm not used to having scoreboards, so I apologize for that. That one goes right into the net, and Byron is going to get the point. Here comes Sophia Richardson on. Maren Radke will take a seat, and I believe Ella Brennan will be going back. Similar rotation in terms of having 2 middles on the court at the same time. Something different from September 4th to today. Fjerstad took a lot of middle swings. Now you see her moving around, but she is drilling it from the outside, and that's where she stays. Nagel pops it up to Langseth, who goes to Sylvia Husenfeld, and Husenfeld gets it through the blockers. A double block on that far side. I believe Abby Nelson got a hand on it. Brennan takes a seat. Radke back on. Radke, great back row player. She had 10 digs against Austin last Wednesday night. Abby Nelson. Oh my God, how high did she just get? You got to see this. You got to watch this. I wish I knew how to slow this down. But the amount of air, look at how high off the ground she is. That deserves a razzle-dazzle replay. 14-11 Stewartville. Abby Nelson with the thick bubble braid. She hits that one over to the Stewartville bench. And now Tigers bump it back up to a 4-point lead, and the Theobald sisters are coming back. And Ella Theobald is one of the hardest hitters we've seen in Tiger Nation since 2019, I believe it was, when Caitlin Pronzinski was here. It was 2019, I believe. Lamb 2020, you could probably also give it to her. There's Fjerstad swinging away. Ella sends it back, but Nelson, Ella, is going to give a swing of her own, and that one goes long. One bouncer to the Tiger on the wall. 16-11 Stewartville. Clara Theobald serving. Abby Nelson's out. Radke's going to dump it over. Rowland takes a swing. Middlestat to Theobald. Theobald goes middle to Doobie. Doobie just pops it over. Here comes Abby outside to Kaydence. Oh, what a save. Doobie goes outside to Husenfeld. Good dig there by Ella to Abby. Clara sat down on that. Middlestat sending it all the way over to Ella Theobald. Tough angle, but somehow gets it to work. I find these got to be some of the toughest. Coming from the back row to the right side, it's got to cross your face. And somehow she gets the job done. Ella Theobald leads the team, 192 kills on the year. Ella Nelson drives it over. Nope, that one's going to go into the net. And it's going to be 18-11 Stewartville. It went from a 3-point lead to a 5. Clara Theobald still at the service line. Theobald leads the team. Clara does. The freshman, 410 assists, 5.3 per set. Also has 25 aces. Her mom's going to tell her, get that elbow back, Clara. Get that elbow back. There's Fjerstad. Takes a little bit off it. Now Clara goes outside to Sylvia. We'll see where Sylvia goes. Good dig by Ella Nelson. Abby over to Fjerstad. Oh, get a block. Clara, Sylvia. I don't know if that ever got over there. Even if we would have been able to dig it up, I think it hit the top of the net and came back 18-12 as Fjerstad is going to move behind the service line. Fjerstad, how many aces did she have against us last year in the 2024 section championship game? A lot. And you see why there. Just very impressive. Doobie! Middle of the court opens up for the surgeon. MD. Just been surgical this year in terms of where she places that ball. Sometimes it's speed, drills it. Sometimes she takes a little off, makes sure she gets it in the right spot. And that's going to be a timeout for Byron as the Tigers take a 19-12 lead. 19-12. Matilda Doobie, you heard about her. 82 blocks, leads the team. 2.9 blocks per match, 66 digs, and 160 kills. 47% kill percentage. We talked about that. The number of kills over the number of swings. Her and Dream Petersohn, almost a coin flip if that's going to be a point for us. Awesome. Awesome. Sydney Clark, 79 kills and 37 blocks for the senior. Abby Langstaff, 356 set assists. 4.6 assists per set, leads the team in serve percentage with 96%. Why do I mention those girls? You heard me talk about them. Ella Theobald, Dream Petersohn, Matilda Doobie, Sydney Clark, Abby Langstaff. That's 5 seniors that have made a huge impact. And the success that Stewartville's had, a direct correlation to what they bring. 24-4 this year. Sometimes you see senior classes and you have 3 or 4 people out there that make a huge contribution, and then you have a couple on the bench, that, bring the energy there and try to keep encouraging. All 5 of these girls are playing every single match and making a huge dent in terms of that 24 wins. You can thank them. It's going to be a huge loss come 2026, but we're just enjoying the heck out of the ride now, as here comes Ella Nelson trying to keep it inside. Did she keep it inside the antenna? She did. Left-handed, good body control there by the senior Nelson. Brennan comes back on. Richardson's going to take a seat, and Radke will serve. Radke already has an ace in her stat column. Middle stat to Clara Theobald. Theobald goes back. Ella just punched it over, but Radke in the right spot, and now it's going to be a short one. Ella pops it up. Clara outside, low one to Spencer. She drills it to the corner. What a save by Fjerstad, but Byron couldn't bring it up. It's going to be 2013 Stewartville. Matilda Doobie serving. That means our 2 middles, Dream Petersohn in the front. Abby out to Ella. Wow! Ella probably said, Abby, if you don't set me a perfect one, I'm not driving you home. I'm sure they've practiced that in the backyard a little bit. Abby Nelson, for a setter, has pretty good size. 5'9", just a freshman. 3 more years for her. Here comes Max Steele. Leah to Theobald. Theobald outside to Nagel. Oh! What a swing, but Fjerstad is able to dig it. They go back row. Leah runs it down. Here comes Clara. She goes outside to Nagel. Nagel has to keep it inside the antenna. They throw it right back. Set her out. Here comes Middlestat. Ella Theobald. Oh, Theobald! Knocked it into the corner. 21-14 Stewartville. The Theobald sisters will take a seat. Langstaff in to serve. And the Energizer Bunny, Sydney Clark, number 11, comes on the court. I thought she'd be number 10. She's number 10 in softball. She's number 11. Here comes Fjerstad. What? Oh, my gosh! What kind of spin did she just put on that? It looked like a screwball. This girl's like the Shohei Ohtani of volleyball. She does absolutely everything well. 21-15. Ella Nelson with the serve. That one goes. No, it's in. Marshall says it's in. That's an ace for Nelson. Oh. I mean, he's got the best look, but 21-16. But we got the instant replay. So there's Hebel. Langstaff, middle. Petersohn sent back by Brennan. They're going to say it wasn't touched. And Byron will take that point, and they close the gap to 4. As Ella Nelson will run back. Nelson, you're talking about a girl that had 44 aces last year. Incredible server. Wow, she dropped that one. Clark's just going to have to free that one over. Nelson to steal outside to Fjerstad. Dug by Hebel. That one spun. Luckily, that one's out. As you know, if you have a spin like that off a set, new rule this year in Minnesota State High School League, If it spins off the set but stays on your side, it's not considered a double hit. It's only a double hit if it goes over the net and you're spinning it off the set. So something to pay attention to if you haven't watched Minnesota high school volleyball in some time. Last year to this year, that was a big rule change, and you saw it there. Kind of just came off awkward, started side spinning. 21-18 as Byron tries to close the gap. It is a race to 25. Stewartville took set number 1, if you're just joining us, 25-14. Byron now with a valiant comeback. Valiant. Is that a word? I think it is. 21-18. Let's see who we got tuning in here. 270 viewers. Appreciate y'all tuning in to Stewartville Activities on YouTube. I know I messed up the title. It's supposed to say MN section 13A. I was in a hurry because my internet wasn't working. I was trying to get our pregame show going, so the timing wasn't off. So I'll fix that once the show is over. Do want to give a shout out to the Morales family in San Antonio. Aunt Beth, Uncle Martin. Is it Martin or Martina? I don't know. Bernie didn't say. That one's Dream Petersohn. 22-18 now, Stewartville. Nagel back to serve. Oh, Ratke. It just dropped off the table when it came over the net. Sometimes it's hard to appreciate if you're not sitting at net level how much these girls are able to drop that ball as soon as it crosses that plane. 23-18. Stewartville needing 2 more points. Byron trying to close the gap as they did on a run just before. Nagel puts that one over. Fjerstad, steal. Fjerstad swings from the 10-foot line. Somehow Nagel gets a hand on it, but too much juice from number 12, like Tropicana. Fjerstad bringing it tonight. 23-19. Ella Brennan comes on. She's going to be serving, chasing 4. That's a hard serve. Incredible just to get that off the floor. Fjerstad going to the heavy hitter, and she does it again. You feed the beast if you're Byron, and that beast is Kaydence Fjerstad. 23-20. Set number 2. This is what you expect. That set number 1 was an anomaly. This is what you expect from Byron Stewartville Volleyball. 23-20. Brennan into the net. And it's set point for Stewartville. Doobie comes on. Middlestat will be serving. Middlestat actually leads the team with 38 aces, 11%, 95% serve percentage as the lefty's going to give it a go. In the front row, Doobie, Husenfeld, and Klar. Radke up to Abby. Outside to Richardson. They get a hand on it. Abby pops it up. Middlestat goes back to Sylvia Husenfeld. She drives it through the block, and Stewartville wins set number 2. They're 2/3 of the way there. 25-20. What a set, though. Byron, give them all sorts of credit. They narrowed that lead awfully quick there in the middle. Set number 2 on the back of Fjerstad. And now we go to set number 3. I'm going to step aside. We'll be back for Section 1 3A Minnesota Volleyball here in Tiger Nation at Eagle Rock Bank Arena. I'm Adam Peterson. Catch me back in 2.5 minutes. We're 1 minute away from set number 3 here in Stewartville. Stewartville leads 2-0, 25-14, 25-20. Want to give a shout out to my favorite people in Dover, Chad and Wendy Foster out there watching. Obs, Kelton, if you're there, we'll give you a shout out too. I'm sure the dogs are there. Gosh, what a family there, the Fosters. Gotta love those guys. Former teammates of Max Steele and Kaydence Fjerstad and Brooklyn Petersohn on the Stewartville side. Aubrey Foster, sweet swinging lefty from the Dover district. Great outfielder. So we'll see if Byron can extend their season one more set. They showed in set number 2 that they could do it. They were right there. Momentum was swinging in their favor. Swinging, but then Stewartville called a timeout. Sammy Petersohn. I'm looking at Dream and thinking Petersohn. Sammy Petersohn, Wisconsin guy, I believe. I think his parents, I met his mom not too long ago. They watch. I don't know if they're tuned in or if they're in attendance. They should be in attendance for a game this big. But if they're watching out there, give them a shout out. Sammy Petersohn in his first season last year took this team to state, and now he's trying to make another run here in playoffs. 24-4, ranked number 4 in the state, Stewartville is. He's trying to take out one of the scariest teams in the entire 3A bracket. You're talking about the Byron Bears. Speaking of scary brackets, how scary is section number 6? Huh? Number 2 seed Delano. Number 2 state ranked Delano. Number 3 state ranked Benilde St. Margaret's. Number 7 Creighton Durham Hall. Number 10 Princeton. They have 10. Sidney Clark pops it over. Radke pancakes it. IHOP. Now Middlestat coming out to Clark again. Clark's going to swing on that one. Abby's able to bring that up. Here comes Ella Nelson from the back row. Took some notes from Fjerstad and delivers. But I was saying, section 6 for 3A, 4 state-ranked teams. That's incredible. It's almost like section 1, 4A for football. We had 3 of the top 5 teams. Oh, speaking of football, big shout out to Zeke Spencer, our middle linebacker over there, cleaning some sweat off the floor. What a guy. Oh, I think that's Zeke. Yeah, it's Zeke. Vince Wellick over there. Vinny City, our quarterback. Mickey Height, Malik Abdi. Got a whole Sleep is over there. Colin McGill. We got a whole front row of great football players. Appreciate all they did for our football program. I think Lucas House is over there as well. Appreciate all that they contributed. I know their year didn't end the way that they wanted, but just what an incredible run. You think about what they did as a junior class, 14-0, went and won a second straight state championship, lost in a heartbreaker against Caston Mantorville on Saturday, 10-7 with the last second field goal. Give credit to Caston Mantorville. Their defense was tough. Now that sets up for all you Byron fans out there watching. All you Byron fans, Friday night, Mayo High School, Byron #1 seed, taking on Caston Mantorville to go to state. It will be potentially Byron's third straight state appearance, and they have a team that looks like they could do it this year. You got the Heimer brothers. You got Rodemeyer back there. Best wishes if he's out there to Carson Steinke. I heard he had an injury in the last game. I don't know if he's watching or somebody that knows him, but wishing him well, hopefully for a full and speedy recovery. You got the Bo Nicklay, who's not on my Christmas card list anymore. Can't put him on my Christmas card list after what he did to us, broke our hearts. We're back here for volleyball. There's only been 1 point in the third set, and I'm still talking. Abby Langstaff tries to go middle. Petersohn, what a dig by Abby. They go outside to Rolland. Blocked, but that one goes into the Stewartville student section, and now Byron leads 2-0. Aubrey Foster is watching. I got confirmation. So not only one of my favorite Dover Yoda softball players, excellent libero for their volleyball team. I hear she has one of the best bats out there in the TRC. All truths told here on Stewartville Activities on YouTube. Middlestat just takes that one over. Uh-oh, they got a set. Goes middle. Oh, somehow Middlestat saves it. It goes long, though, and now this is what Byron needs. They need to get out in front. They haven't been out in front the first 2 sets. They haven't been out in front. Oh, Obbs is at the game. Obbs is she's here. I got to get a picture with her. That's amazing AF out there. Aubrey Foster, AF. Big swing, and that one goes long. They're going to ask for a touch. Old Eagle Eye Marshall says no. 3-1 Byron. Middlestat serving. And that one goes into the net. Uncharacteristic for Middlestat, a 95% serve percentage. The leader on the Tigers, the junior libero, that puts it in the net. 4-1 Byron. Here comes bad Kaydence Fjerstad. Husenfeld. That one's tight. Oh, what a bring back by Langseth. Doobie makes it happen, and now they get to set it up. Nagel, Langseth, Doobie, but good block there by Richardson, and it goes down. Marshall's right on it. What a save there by Langseth, though. It was going to be a 50-50 ball at the top of the net. She brought it back. Doobie was able to get a swing on it. 4-2 Byron. Stewartville does not want to let Byron get that momentum, get back in the game. Round dumps it over. Backside. Oh, big hit by Theobald. Byron was in the net anyway, but worth taking another look at. As pretty as the Riverwalk in San Antonio, as the Morales family gets to see. I think it's their niece, Ella Theobald, with the kill. 4-3, Stewartville. Abby outside to big sister Ella. Yeah, she had to try to cut that. Good effort by Nelson. She's done that a few times. That one, I just don't think the geometry was in her favor. Tied up here in set number 3 at 4. Fjerstad, nice pop-up. Here comes Ella Nelson. She's going to unleash. Snaggle, what a dig. She can do it all, too. There's Husenfeld. Oh, my gosh, what a save by Fjerstad. Ella, Clara, outside, backs off on Husenfeld. She was running up. The set pulled her a little bit away from the net, and it was just off rhythm. She had to lean back, and that didn't allow her to get a good swing on it. 5-4 Byron. Ratke with the serve. Libero to libero there. Claire goes outside. Ella Theobald tried to hammer that one and top of the net. And Byron's going to take that. Extends the lead to 2, 6-4 Bears. Thanks for everybody tuning in to this epic matchup between the Bears and the Tigers. It's always worth the price of admission, but I'm glad if you can't make it here that you're watching on YouTube. Husenfeld to Theobald. Middle. Doobie sent back. I think that was Nelson based on her reaction. Nelson and Brennan put up the double block. 7-4. Ella Nelson's not ready to be done yet as she's given it everything she's got for Byron. Ratke. They go outside to Ella Theobald. Oh! Sledgehammer! It's not just a hammer when Ella hits it. She pounded that one down the line and stops the bleeding for Stewartville. 7-5 Byron, and Hebel's on for Husenfeld. Hebel to serve. Ratke, Nelson, middle, Brennan. Ella popped it up. Clara's going to go outside to Spencer Nagel. She has to try to throw that one. Goes off Rolland's hands. Abby goes back to Rolland. Leah, Clara, middle. Doobie just tips it over. Ella Nelson to Abby. Abby goes middle to Brennan. And if that goes in, it does. Perfect placement there by number 5, Ella Brennan. 8-5 Bears. As they continue to maintain that several-point lead. They aren't letting Stewartville get too close. Here comes Max Steele, one of my favorites. Number 1 on the court, number 1 in our hearts. You heard me say it. Saw Jenny and Eric earlier. Love talking to them. Great people. Miss them in softball season, I'll tell you. Miss them. There's Leah to Clara. Comes back row. Ella Theobald gets on top of it. Steele digs it with double hand. Ratke's going to drive that one over. Middlestat to Theobald. Back. Oh, good dig there by Fjerstad. Oh, what a save by Abby Nelson. Now Brennan sends it over. Middlestat pops it up. They're going to go over to Nagel. Nagel drives it over, steals out. Ratke's going to have to come back to Ella Nelson. She swings on it. That's going to go off the ceiling. Tough to save. It hit the rafter and came down hot. And Stewartville couldn't save it as Byron pushes the lead to 4. You saw how long it took me to do that math, 9 minus 5. The low IQ is starting to show here in the broadcast booth. Max Steele back to serve. Middle stat to Clara. Clara goes back. Oh, the heavens have opened up! And down rains the thunder of one Ella Theobald! Incredible! Nobody hits harder than number 2. Ratke to steal. Brennan almost puts it at the 10-foot line. What an answer. What did they call net? They called Brennan in the net? I didn't see it. And I have to catch the instant replay in the first 8 seconds. I know you think it's home cooking, but I have to hit a button in the first 8 seconds to catch it. I was well past it. I was already putting one on the scoreboard. 9-7 Bears. Apologize for the crowd coming through the microphone. Surrounded. Doobie. There's Fjerstad. Hebel. Clara. Quick set. Dream! There's no I in Dream, but there's an M and an E, and she just hammered that one. Wow. Let's see if I caught it. I didn't. I apologize. Either way, Stewartville cut the lead to 1 now. Ratke to Steele. Steele going outside to Abby. Is that Abby or Ella? It's Abby. Here comes Ella. Wow, all sorts of side spin. 50-50 ball. Theobald to Theobald. Throws it towards the middle. Brennan pops it up. Fjerstad just makes something happen. Here we go. Doobie. Clara. Back and drop the hammer! Drop it! The crowd falls over. That's not a crack in the court. That's a fault line. Wow! Ella Theobald says, I'll put you on my back. We'll tie this thing up. We're at 9s, but now here comes the other hardest hitter on the court, Fjerstad. How good is Kaydence Fjerstad? She's not even close to the net, and she's getting on top of this. That's incredible. She's superhuman. Hebel, Clara, goes back set. Oh my gosh, what a cut! What a cut, chef! If you can't handle the heat, stay out of the kitchen. Ella Theobald's cooking here. How did she cut that? Watch this. She has nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. That looked like a Clayton Kershaw curveball. 10-10. Ella Theobald brought us single-handedly back to 10s. Abby middle. Jay Petersohn! Smashed it! What a hit! Craig Clark and I celebrating to each other. Fjerstad, Steele, comes back to the big swinger. Middle stat, got to go outside to Nagel. Nagel drives that one over. What's the call? They're calling net. 12-10 Stewartville. Oh, Stewartville on a run. They went from down 4 to up 2. Got to take a TO, baby. Stewartville takes the lead. They're going to try to close this out. It's set number 3. They have a 2-0 lead. Almost 300 people watching live. Appreciate all of you. What all of you should see, I wish I could span the crowd. I don't want to mess with the camera right now. My luck, it's going to dump over, hit somebody, and we'll be out of a job. Not really a job since we don't get paid for it. It's all free. But I mean, do you need to get paid for a game like this? It's like the football players I used to work with. They say you get paid for, what is today, Wednesday? So Thursday through Tuesday, we play the games for free. So for football, it would have been Monday through Saturday they get paid for. They play the games for free on Sunday, and that's what we're doing here. Abby Langseth back to serve. Klar into the game. What a run by the Theobald sisters here. We needed those points, and when you need those points, you go to your best player, our best player, Ella Theobald. You want to talk about players to watch? You saw it in the pregame show. Ella Theobald and Kaydence Fjerstad are the two you got to watch. Here goes Ella Nelson over the net, able to get the roll. 12-11. Ella Nelson, the outstanding outside for the Bears. And here comes Brennan, the other Ella. We got 3 great Ellas tonight. Brennan, Nelson, and Theobald. 2 for Byron. Ooh, that one hits the top of the net. Good job by Nagel to get that one. Now Dream Petersohn. Oh my gosh, Dream drilled that. We got to stay alive though after an incredible save. Klar's just going to dump that one over the middle. Brennan pops it up. Steele goes backside. That one's going to be long. That one's long. But what an incredible save off the swing of Petersohn. I don't know who it was, if it was Nelson back there. Even if it goes all the way over the net, just live to fight another point. Nagel on to serve. Fjerstad, quick set. Good, they got a hand on it to slow it down. Langseth goes outside to Sylvia Husenfeld. Nelson brings it back. Steele's coming out. Good pass to Fjerstad. Fjerstad goes corner. The sniper. The sniper. She doesn't have much room to get that in from where she hit that. She puts it in the perfect spot, right where the ref can see it. It's now 13-12, still Stewartville. Abby Nelson back to serve. Almost 300 people. If one person can tell the friend, we're at 299 right now. Let's hit 300. Trey Petersohn from the window to the wall. Petersohn just hammered that ball. She's been lights out today. (14-12). Middlestad on to serve. Doobie, Klar, and Husenfeld in the front row. Fjerstad, it's going to be middle to Richardson. She gets a touch. And Byron just fighting every step of the way. And that's what you expect from a team like this. I'm telling you, this roster, if they had Dearborn, I mean, this roster is one of the most talented you're going to find, probably the most talented 4-seed. Fjerstad, they thought that was going long, but it's starting to drop. Klar goes off the blocker. Fjerstad somehow saves that. Ellen Nelson pops it over the middle. Middlestad, Langseth, middle. Doobie, the surgeon. Good save there by Abby. Ella pops it over. Richardson able to clear the net. Langseth goes back to Klar. I don't know if that ever made it over the net. Either way, Nelson made sure of it. And it's all knotted up at 14. Oh, I see people telling friends, now we got 314 watching. Let's keep that domino train going. It's a snowball. It's starting to get bigger. People want to see these two play. Fjerstad. Wow! Yeah. Tough to bring that one back. Tough to bring that one back. Kaydence Fjerstad. And she's good at volleyball. Can you imagine? She's just as good at softball. She's just as good at softball. Langseth to middle. Doobie doesn't get all of it, but enough that it throws the back row off their rhythm. (15-15). Now it's a race, 10 points. Who can get 10 first? Claire Theobald, Radke pops it up. Abby middle. Oh, she did just to stay out of the net. Oh, miscommunication there. Theobald sends it back. Not one of her biggest hammers. More of one of those hammers that the North Pole elves in Will Ferrell's movie used. Just a little one. Just a little tappity tap. Just tap that one in. 16-15 Stewartville. Oh, what a serve by Clara. She got the elbow back on that one, Amy. Got the elbow back on that. I call it CTE, Clara Theobald energy. Not many people bring it. Only Sydney Clark can probably match it. Clara, the freshman. Looks to Coach Becca for the spot. Fjerstad to Abby. Back. Oh, denied! Unlike the DU food, that one was sent back. 18-15 as Stewartville went on a little run there to push their lead to 3. I don't know if the DU is watching, but big shout out to Mully, always taking care of us. He took care of me and my football broadcast partner, Aaron Meyer, all season in the Dan Simmons broadcast booth at the football field on Friday nights, making sure we're fed. Best wings in town, and if you're going to go for burgers, Jalapapa Burger is my go-to. I also love the cheese curds. I'm from Wisconsin. Gotta love the cheese curds. Also, speaking of Wisconsin, want to give some of our family a shout out. Eric and Dana Check. We got Tommy, Avery in the house, and Grandpa Paulie's even here, front row, baby. He's getting front row seats. I guess that's what happens when you know Crystal, who's a legend here in Stewartville. So big thanks to our family for making the hour trip to come support Brooklyn. Natalie's up there, obviously, with Crystal. So big shout out to them. If you don't know, Tommy, Bradley, Owen, Avery, the Czechs over there in La Crosse, Wisconsin, representing the Logan Rangers. Logan plays this Friday night, second round of Wisconsin football playoffs. Tommy's been unstoppable, incredible at the quarterback position. We're trying to get him to transfer here to Stewartville with Wellick graduating. Nelson tips it over. Good spot. That's the second time I've seen Nelson use that left hand to perfection. Old number 8 gets a point for the Bears, 18-16. Radke. Theobald just brings that back. Doobie gets a swing on it. Oh, that one's going to be able to play ping pong. It's Plinko up there. Oh, they said it was into the net anyway. It must have hit the rafters 5 times. I don't know if I've ever seen that before, at least not since I watched The Price is Right with Bob Barker. Plinko. (19-16) Stewartville, Hebel hammer. Racky's able to bring that up. Abby goes middle to Brennan. Brennan tries to pop that over. Nagel digs it up. Back set to Big Sister. Off the block. Abby brings it up. Racky, what an effort by Racky, diving into the bench to try to bring that one back. Unfortunately for Byron, it goes out 20-16 as Stewartville is 5 points away. 5 points away from moving on. Stewartville looks more focused than I've seen them in quite some time. Even in the Chaska tournament, they are dialed in tonight, and I'm loving it. This is what we need. Hebel goes long, and it's out. Fjerstad with the 20/20 vision back there. Team Kaydence just down to my right. Great support system for Kaydence Fjerstad. Max Steele comes on. She'll be serving, chasing 3. Steele, Middlestat pops it up. Claire Theobald goes out to Nagel. That one's sent back by, it was either Brennan or Abby Nelson. One of the two. They're throwing up double blocks there every time. Not a bad idea. 20-18. As Max Steele takes that softball arm and she's using it for volleyball serving tonight. Another good serve. Middlestat tries to do something with it. Pops it back to Ella Theobald. That's a tough. Oh, what a save by Fjerstad. Steele's just going to go deep corner. That one's out. What a diving save there by Fjerstad. Sammy Petersohn, one of the few times we see him come out of his chair. Usually pretty mellow. There he goes, crosses his legs. He's back to relaxed. Theobald to middle. Dream Petersohn! Are you kidding me, Dream? I'm part of the dream team. Krista's part of the dream team. But that's our leader right there. Petersohn in the middle. 22-18 Stewartville. Doobie serving. Fjerstad up to Steele. Goes middle. Brennan saved by Clara, but she's out. Leah goes to Ella. Get it to your best player. Get it to your best player. That's why I think Leah is one of the top back row players. Her ability to place that second hit when our setter goes out, second to none. No pun intended there. 23-18 Stewartville. They're now 2 points away. 2 points away. Doobie, Fjerstad, Steele. Nelson just drives it over. Leah pops it up. Theobald goes outside to Nagel. Nagel just tries to get it inside the antenna. She does off a blocker's hands, and that one's going to find the court. 24-18, match point for the Tigers. Tiger Nation on its feet, as is tradition. for set points and match points. You've seen a thriller here, set number 3. Byron started out hot. They're going to try to extend it. Ellen Nelson drives that one into the net, and Stewartville is going to take it. The 1 seed hangs on, but incredible effort there by the Byron Bears. Hats off to the Byron Bears. They finished their season 15-11, I believe, is the record. Want to give a shout out to their seniors, Olivia and Sophia Richardson. Ella Brennan, that middle hitter, had a fantastic game against Stewartville September 4th. Avery Rowland, we saw her out there tonight. The 5'9" right side hitter. Zoe Dearborn, heartbroken for her. Wish her best wishes. She's a senior. Ellen Nelson, incredible all-around player. Like I said last year, Ellen Nelson, the all-HBL Byron Offensive Player of the Year, 288 kills, 287 digs. That was last year. I don't have this year's stats. Also, Marin Radke, the libero, came on. Played fantastic, I thought. And then Jocelyn Dutz, I believe, is the last one. Number 13 was the last senior. So I know it's tough. It's their last game playing volleyball, but I think you have to give them credit for the way that they came out here and fought the number 4 state-ranked team. In terms of talent, I think they were evenly matched. I know Byron had a lot of adversity that they needed to pull through in the middle of the season. These girls stuck together. Appreciate what they gave us tonight in terms of the entertainment value. They fought till the bitter end. So hats off to Byron. The Stewartville Tigers, though, they take this one and move to 25-4. They're still the 4th-ranked team. They're going to move on to the Civic Center on Saturday. They will take on the winner of Casson Manor and Northfield, who's playing tonight. In terms of times, I think it's 2 o'clock. You might want to check that one, but it is at the Civic Center. I don't know what the deal is with broadcasting, if we can or we can't. Just stay tuned for that. We'll enjoy the heck out of this victory, though. In terms of Stewartville players, I thought Dream Petersohn and Ella Theobald, 2 seniors on our squad, absolutely stepped up when we needed it. You saw us down there, and Ella Theobald put us on her back and was able to bring the Thunder, tied it up at 10-10, and then Stewartville was off to the races. You talk about some of the other seniors. Clar was out there. She delivered some huge blocks. Matilda Doobie in the middle of the net. The surgeon was working, and then Abby Langseth. Some incredible digs, working it at the net in terms of setting. Our 5 seniors led us to the section championship, and we are looking forward to it. That's going to do it here in Tiger Nation. Stewartville with the clean sweep over Byron, 25-14, 25-20, 25-18. I'm Adam Peterson, going to be signing out from the broadcast booth up here on the top row at the Eagle Rock Bank Arena. Thanks for tuning in and supporting this incredible volleyball match with 2 teams that have insanely talented girls. Proud of each of the teams. I'm Adam Peterson signing off. Dan, if you're out there listening, I hope we made you proud.